What is up, YouTube? It's Youngest Chief, and today we just doing a little Bible study. We got the complete English Hebrew dictionary from Ruben Alcalay, Alcalay, 1965, and we got the Holy Scripture, 1960. Text of this Bible is copywritten in 1955 by the Jewish Publication Society of America, who are the owners of all the materials in the text, and no part of this text may be reproduced without written permission from them. Okay, okay. But first, I want to start because I got this app on my phone, the Holy Bible, and I think that's what it's called. Yeah, something like that. But it says, prolong Christ, the eternal world. In the beginning, the Word already existed. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. He existed in the beginning with God. It says He. It doesn't say Jesus, it says He, which indicates that man existed in the beginning with God, man and woman. It does not say Jesus, it says He. Capital H, which is very important. That's how God looks at His children, like God. God created everything through Him, lowercase h, and nothing was created except through Him. The Word gave life to everything that was created, and His life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. He existed in the beginning with God, John 1:2. Let's peep what it says in this Bible. Hold on. Shout out to this ribbon. Star David. Shout out to Star David. What? Do not tell me this is Encyclopedia Dictionary. Incense, a substance the burning of which gives forth a sweet odor. The formula for making this pure and holy perfume or sacrificial substance, together with a stern prohibition against its appropriation for private use, appears in Exodus. The use of incense in the sacrificial system goes all the way back to the time of Moses in the Exodus and is described in full in the Torah. The altar of incense stood before the Holy of Holies. Shout out to incense, man. But shout out to this book that is not have the New Testament. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. It doesn't even have all of the. It only goes up to Second Chronicles. Why is that? What in the? That is super weak. Well, never mind. But either way, let's see what version is this? Hold on, my phone is bugging. Okay. What app is this even? What the? I have no idea. Whatever. I don't know what version of the Bible this. Oh, it's the New Living Translation apparently. Yo, this app is low key kind of icy because it you can download every like all types of different Bibles. Dang, that's kind of icy. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. See, and that's another thing about Christianity is that you know how many times the Bible has been rewritten? Like, what is the original text? There's the new revised King James version. Like, there's so many different. I actually did that in Bible study one time. We read the Bible, like a few different types of Bibles, and like the same verse from different Bibles, and they all had different texts, and you would be surprised how different like they are. Even just one word in a sentence can completely change the whole or the whole yeah the whole sentence. I got the Tree of Life version. What's crazy though is that they don't have. This is crazy. Hold up. New World Translation. The New World Translation. New World Translation. Wow, I knew it. This app don't. This app leaves out Jehovah's Witness Bible, the New World Translation. And what's crazy is that this is how backwards the church is. What's crazy is that Jehovah's Witness are the real deal church. They're the ones who go out preaching the word of God to people, and people hate them. For what reason? Because the church tells them to. Isn't that crazy? They take their own time going around to preach the word of the Bible, and they are looked at so wrongly. Why is that? I don't know. I study with Jehovah's Witness all the time, and I think by far I'd much rather study with Jehovah's Witness than go to a church. They don't ask for money. They preach God's word because that is what that is a true teacher of the word. And they are hated for what reason? Because they come to your home? You don't want to read the Bible in the comfort of your own home. You would rather go to a church and do it? That's backwards. But anyway, I mean, that's just my opinion, you know? But shout out to Tupac, man. I feel like Tupac could have been Jesus reincarnated at some point, to be honest. No lie. Illuminati. He was trying to expose the Illuminati, the dark forces of the world. Think if Jesus was born into a life that Tupac was. Think of think of instead of Jesus being born in a stable, like a horse stable, he was born in a prison like Tupac. Shout out to Ghetto Gospel. Those who wish to follow me, my ghetto gospel, I welcome with my hand. I wish I could. YouTube will copyright it for sure, probably. He said it ain't about black and white because we're human. I always see the light before it's ruined. Man, he said, when I write rhymes, I go blind and let the Lord do his thing. He was a true poet. And again, he was one of the most hated by the media. For what reason? Again, My guess is that he was exposing the Illuminati. He said, "Am I less holy 'cause I choose to puff a blunt and drink a beer with my homies?" Does that make him less holy? Even though he's trying to shed the light about it doesn't matter about skin color. Nah, Tupac loved God. He said Tupac was a a gangster. Tupac was this. Tupac was that. Tupac did not love God. Again, walk in Tupac's shoes in that life that he was born and tell me what you. People would rather scrutinize him and say this and that about him than giving him credit and props for finding God in the situation that he is in. Ain't that crazy? And there's a lady, crack got her crazy. Guess who's giving birth to a baby? And shout out to Tupac. For real. I feel like he had the spirit of Jesus in him for sure. That's probably why that's probably why he got I think he faked his death, Machiavelli. But if he got murdered, it was because he was trying to shed light on the truth that was really happening in the world. Those who try to speak truth against those in power, they usually ended up dead, which is which is why I'm surprised I'm still alive, low key. Maybe it's because I don't have a following yet. I don't know. We'll see. But it don't even matter though, because I know our souls are eternal. And I know that karma someone would get if they physically killed me. And I know that they know that as well. And yeah, I know that I would just, my soul is eternal. I could be reborn on earth whenever I wanted. So it wouldn't even matter if I got, you know what I mean? I'm not scared of death because I know the truth. But I'm gonna tell you guys something. I'm gonna tell you guys about my vision and what I seen. Hold on, hold up. First, I gotta grab something. But am I less holy? Cause I choose to puff a blunt and drink a beer with my homies. The church will tell you that someone is less holy because they smoke weed and drink beer with their friends before they tell you that it is unholy that the priest sexually assault children. They'd rather cover that up and hide that truth and talk about how unholy it is to smoke weed and to drink beer with your friends. Again, super backwards. Super, super backwards. Again, that is my opinion. That is just my opinion. But I'm gonna show you this exact this exact figure is what is exactly what I seen, except the chief was holding a ceremonial pipe. He was sitting just like this in my vision, and he told me to sit down with him, and we talked, and then he passed me the ceremonial pipe, and I smoked it with him, and then I returned to my earth body. But before that, I was shown many different things. I was shown I don't know how to pronounce it, the Euphrates River. I don't know how if I'm saying it right. I was shown how I was shown an angel who had a bunch of armor on, and the angel was building the city that are under that are being discovered today of the under the river. And I seen and then when I seen that, I kept going back or I left the earth and I was traveling out in space, like rising higher and higher. And I seen Earth turn into a totem. And there was a turtle on the bottom, and there was one of them dinosaurs that have the very long necks and then the very long tails with the four. I forget what type it is. It's a plant eater though. I know that. And then I seen. I can't, hold on. I don't know. I seen three more. I don't know. I forget what the other ones were. But anyways, and then I seen the stars traveling like the currents in the ocean, the tides, and I seen a bunch of different shapes of animals as the stars, and they were just all traveling by in like a wave. And then I came to a fetus, two of them actually, and it was in a yin yang position. Hold on. I'm gonna try to draw it quick for you, so so you can understand. Like, this does not look. I mean, this looks a little messed up, but anyways. So I came to something like this in space. It was two fetuses in like a yin yang type thing, right? And at the head were the older souls waiting to be reincarnated back into Earth. And at the feet, there was little like slits where the souls coming back from Earth went into the fetus at the feet. Does that make sense, kind of? So, like, the feet were the opening, and then the head is where, like, the older souls were, like, chilling, just waiting to be sent back on their mission to Earth, right? And then I seen a bunch of souls headed there, and I started to come back. And I was like, wait, what is going on? I'm trying to be right there. I'm not trying to go back down to Earth. Like, what is going on? I was pissed, high key. I was like, I don't want to go back to Earth. What am I doing? And then before I seen the chief, I seen two things in the future. The two things that I seen was Donald Trump was going to be the last president of the United States, and I seen the Pope doing blood transfusions with children. Don't shoot the messenger. This was just my vision. Whether it's true or not, I don't have the facts on that. That was my vision. And the crazy part is that a couple years ago when like Save the Children was coming out, like that thing that hashtag when Epstein's Island was getting more investigated and looked into, and they were figuring out the adrenochrome and blood harvesting rituals and stuff. It reminded me of my vision of what I seen with the Pope. I don't know. I can't confirm if it is the Pope living today or what Pope, whatever. There was it wasn't a specific Pope. All I know is that they had a crown. And then after I seen that, I came across Chief, and then I hit the ceremonial pipe, and that is when I came back to my Earth body. And the reason why I came back to my Earth body is because I had a responsibility here on Earth to finish. I had a task to do that I signed up for before I came to Earth. I didn't know that at the time because that's when I was in a very dark place in my life. But after I came back, I realized I shouldn't be alive. Why am I alive? I started asking questions, and I realized that I was alive because I had a purpose. There was something that I needed to do. Also, in my vision, I also was told that there was a message for me in the pyramids. And what my guru had told me was that the emerald tablets were in the pyramids, were found in the pyramids. And the emerald tablets were like the Ten Commandments. And then when he told me that, like I just started crying. Like it was so I can't even. It was so mysterious, mystic. It was just a mystical experience, like something that's too good to be true. Like started pieces of the puzzle started adding up together. I was like, okay, so so I'm supposed to learn the Emerald Tablets, or I'm supposed to, right? So that is when I started learning about Egyptian culture. And before this, I grew up Jehovah's Witness, and I studied the Bible for like many years. My mom studied the Bible when I was a kid growing up, and then we got into it. I got into it in like, let me see, um, fourth grade. But Before that, growing up, when I was a real little kid, my dad's dad, my grandpa, he was Jehovah's Witness as well, and he studied the Bible a lot. Like when he had cancer, he read the Bible from start to finish 4 times before he passed away. So I've been studying my whole life. And as a kid, I knew I was going to change the world. I just didn't know how. As a kid, I knew that I was going to make a huge impact on the world. I just did not know how. And then after I tried dying and figured out that I had a purpose, I started getting real into it, like real serious about it, because I knew that there was something that uh, there, I don't know, there was just a higher mission or a higher purpose for my life. And I got super, I got super serious about it because I shouldn't have been alive. Like something saved me and it was for a reason. So I knew that this is my moment to like take life really serious. And once I started researching and learning about this and the ways of life, the universal laws about how we're all connected, my life instantly went from darkness to light in a second. Things cleared up real quick. And ever since then, like ever since so when that happened was 2018, so 5 years ago. And ever since 5 years ago, this is all I've been doing for 5 years pretty much, is just studying, reading, looking into different cultures, what their religions are, what their practices are. Super dedicated. Like this is all I've been working on the past 5 years. But before that, again, like I studied the Bible, I've read scriptures. I went to Awana when I was a kid, but I've always been around religions, or I've always been around studying, whether that be religion, whether that be spirituality. This is my life's purpose. It's been my life's purpose from the beginning, but and I put so much pressure on myself in the past two, probably the past 2 years. Because in the past 2 years, I came to this realization is that I am God. I came to the realization that you are God. I came to the realization that we are all connected and God shows himself through each of us and through everything in this world. Like it says, where's my phone? God created everything through him, and nothing was created except through him. The Word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the. So, God shows himself everywhere. God, we are all expressions of God. We are all a part of God. We are all God's children. It says he was, he first, he existed in the beginning with God. We've always existed in the beginning with God. It didn't say Jesus, it said he, all of us. Let's say if Jesus, hypothetically, if Jesus wasn't alive, or let's say, what if Jesus took a left turn in his life and he decided that he was just gonna do something else? Do you think there would have been another person to step up and take his position to be the prophet, to be the light? Probably, because that is what the world needed at the time. And God gives people specific blueprints for their life, right? But let's say I passed away that day and I didn't fulfill my life purpose. Would somebody else fill that position, fill this position of being a light, of being spreading the truth and knowledge? Probably, because that is what is needed. If if you're not taking like the role serious, God is gonna give that ooh, God is gonna give that ability and those gifts to somebody who's gonna use them. You lose what you don't use, whether it's with the body, spiritual, it don't matter. If you're not taking the role serious, it's gonna be passed on to somebody else. Because we all have the ability to become that person. There's a reason why Jesus' childhood isn't talked about. It's because he did a lot of his time studying. He was off hitting the books to become, he was training to be, he was like the Rocky. He was Rocky Balboa at that time. He was just off, and it was also because King Harold was trying to find him, but Jesus was ducking the ops, hitting the books hard because he knew that that is what the world needed. He knew that the world needed healing and truth, and that is why it came. Just like in today's day, when so there's the polarity, right? In the beginning of every when the world is created, there was a balance between good and light and dark, good and bad, so to speak, right? When God created Adam and Eve, they had a very strong connection to God because there was only two of them. God could speak directly to them. But when there is almost 8 billion people, now God is trying to talk through all of us. So the abilities and powers that Adam and Eve had would slowly diminish over time or generation after generation because there's more people in the world, right? Well, right now in the world, there is, I'd say there's more dark than light. But when there is 90% darkness, the 10% that carry the light carry a very, 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 very strong light because those 10% are connected to the divine. The other 90%, they aren't using those gifts and abilities. So what happens? It all goes to the 10% who are cherishing those gifts and abilities and working and doing God's work. That is how it works. Because darkness can never win, so those who carry the light help distribute their light to the world so that things may balance out again. And I truly believe Jesus was the Messiah, but I also believe that there was going to be a second Messiah coming. I believe that Jesus was the Son of God that came, and that when they killed him, that Jesus was going to be reborn. But now, as I think of it, cosmic logos. So Jesus was the planetary logos, the planetary love, Christ consciousness. But there is also a universal logos for the whole universe. And that is the time period that the earth is in, is the cosmic logos. And that is why other life forms in the universe are heavily working with earth, sending us like vibrations from outside the planet and sending us downloads because they are assisting the ascension process. Because all planets go through this, like new planets, new forms of life, they all go through this stage of development until everyone in the planet recognizes the oneness within the universe. And then the planet like graduates basically. And then that planet helps a another planet to do the same thing. It's like big brother, little brother type thing. Except it's not going to be humans, it might be a different type of life form because that is very much real. To think, so science believes that the chance of us being alive right now in the universe is like 0.000 like something. If the chances of us being alive right now are that slim, you're telling us we're the only ones living in the universe? Come on. You're telling us that there's nothing else after life? That this is all for nothing? Come on. For what? What would we even be alive for then? That'd be pointless. That'd be. We're always working towards something. Like there's always a goal. There has to be. Otherwise, what would be the point? There would be no life if there was no reason for life. You know what I mean? But in newer planets, in the beginning stages of development, there's always conflict. There's always struggles. There's always growing pains. That is why invade and conquer was a thing. That is why the planet has been destroyed three times already. Is because three times those living at the time, so much chaos happened that it had to be destroyed because the darkness had taken over. So it just resets. It keeps resetting until you get it right. That is why the Hopi prophecy talks about there being 9 resets in the world. But the Hopi prophecy also talks about it only needing to take 4 resets. And it was supposed to it like around 2012 was the 2012 was like the beginning marker of is the world gonna reset or not? And Nostradamus predicted 2042 was the year that the world would end if things did not get better. But I don't think they understood that Mother Earth was going through her own ascension to the 5D. And Mother Earth, being the beautiful mother in spirit that she is bringing all of her children with her. So they have no choice but to evolve and ascend. Otherwise, they get left behind. Evolution, the Darwin theory, right? Those traits that no longer serve us and benefit us, we lose them because there's no need for them anymore, right? So the hate, the fear, the envy, the jealousy, there's no longer need for those emotions because if you understand that we are all connected, we are all one, we are all expressions of God, we are all gifted and unique, and once we realize that there's no competition, there's only compassion. Because once we understand that if I hurt someone else, I'm essentially just hurting myself, it's going to come to a stop at some point because no one is going to want to hurt other people because they're only going to hurt themselves. That's the karma. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. So then you can no longer say, well, I didn't know. Because you can't get punished for something you don't know, really. But once you understand it and you keep doing it, That is when things happen. But yeah, all religions, all texts are man's concept of God. They're made up. It's not real, basically. Those in the Bible are testimonies from people. Books of the Bible are people's story, their testimony, how they how how God worked in their life. That's basically what it is. But a handbook on what to do and what not to do, it doesn't exist. It's made up. It is somebody's concept of the rule book, basically. The do's and don'ts. If it is not the universal laws, it is made up. Usually for some type of control or power. We are all God. We've all existed from the beginning of time because we come from God. We all have that within us. Each of us has the ability to become like Jesus. It's just how old your soul is, how many lives you've lived, how many experiences you've had. That is the difference. But don't look at the older souls if you're a younger soul like I should be like them. No, don't it's not a competition. Because you don't know that the older souls, they could have been supposed to graduate 5 lives ago. 4, 3, you don't know. They should have been, some of them you don't know. So if you're a younger soul and you look at someone who is an older soul and you're like, why am I not like as understanding as someone like that? Or why don't I have as much knowledge as someone like that? It's just maybe you're just a younger soul. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Do you get mad at your older brother or sister just because they're older than you? Maybe as a kid, I guess, but when you grow up, you're like, and then you find out the perks that the younger kid gets, you know? The younger child always just gets to do what they want, while the older siblings always had the strictest rules and everything, and then the younger kids just get whatever they want. You know, there's perks of being the younger kid, but you don't have as much responsibilities and duties as you know, there's perks to both sides. You just gotta look at the positives. There's really no negatives at all in life. And if there are, it's an illusion. It's not real. If it's not love, it did not come from God, it is not real. It is an illusion. If I told you that there are no demons, what if I told you that there are no bad spirits? What if I told you that Lucifer and the fallen angels are actually divine spirits that chose to sign up to be the bad guy? Because somebody had to be the bad guy. Otherwise, polarity wouldn't exist. Free choice wouldn't exist. The story is that Lucifer wanted to be like God. No, Lucifer chose an important role here on earth so that free will could exist. Lucifer is Jesus' brother, basically. They're brothers. Because who created Lucifer? God. God created Lucifer with love. So again, Lucifer is perfect, just like all of us. The whole concept of Christianity and this right and wrong, or this good and bad, is just knowledge. It's just a way of expressing the best way that they possibly could to the world, I guess. That is the best way that they could express the concept with the information and the knowledge that they had at the time. Is that wrong? No. It's a growing experience, a learning experience. There's no right and wrong. There's just trials and tribulations. God is very beautiful. It's the creator is perfect. When you really dig down to that nitty-gritty, that truth, you see how truly, truly beautiful this world really is. And we are lucky to be here. And we should cherish everybody. We should help everybody. We should love everybody. Imagine being God and creating a world where people are forced to love you. There's no satisfaction, there's no fulfillment in that. Like, yeah, okay, I created this world, and these people are forced to love me. Okay, now imagine if you are God and you create a world where people have free will and the people choose themselves to love you. Which one is going to feel more rewarding? Probably the one where the people choose to love you through experiences, learning experiences. Wouldn't that be the ultimate fulfillment? That is where the free will comes in. I'm so thankful that my angels and ancestors saved me, brought me back down to earth, my earth body. I would have never experienced any of this if I would have passed away. And that is why I chose to reveal my truth to the world. Is because if I already tried to kill myself and wanted to die that badly, and I couldn't even do it, I have to be protected in some way. Like, to me, it wouldn't matter if I passed away because I know what I know. But those who were less fortunate in the past, who tried to, speak the truth and it didn't end well, I feel sorry for those people. I'm guessing those people had some sort of contract with the Illuminati or some type of thing. I don't know. Because the ones who don't go to Hollywood and speak the truth and have nothing happens to them, it's only the ones who know and have witnessed and have been a victim to it who try to express themselves. They're the ones that usually get dealt with, so to speak. And I pray for them. Those who are in contracts with, I pray for them. I pray that those contracts are broken and released because they don't exist. The dark, they lose. It's over. The truth is out. They lost their power because the truth is out. They no longer have power because the truth is out. That is that is why they want to kept it. That is why they wanted it to be kept hidden for so long. Because if the truth is out, they no longer have control over you. They can no longer feed you this lie to strike fear into you. Because that is essentially what they do. One last thing. This book right here, The temple, shamanic witchcraft, shadows, spirits, and the healing journey. Highly, 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 highly. I highly, highly suggest those who are into the Bible, those who are into religion, I highly, highly, highly suggest reading this book and checking it out. Check out what the truth about shamans and witchcraft in the healing journey, about what it really, truly is and means. It has nothing to do. Look, land guardians, messenger deities, nature spirits, sickness spirits. It doesn't talk about like black magic, voodoo, or it talks about truth and what witchcraft was really about back in the day before Christianity either killed them or whatever. They forced them into believing. Those who didn't believe in Christianity, they died. Shamanic psychology. The middle self. Our consciousness parallels the spirit worlds. As we map one, we map the other. Through their work, shamans have come to create a rather complex teaching of soul psychology. Middle self. The middle self corresponds to the middle world. This is your physical self, but it is much more than just your body. The middle self is your middle world identity. It is your personality and your ego. It is all your past memories and all your potential future choices. There's more, but I'm just giving you a little quick. The higher self. The higher self is your divine, immortal self. Some think of it as your soul or spirit. Ceremonial magicians characterize it as your holy guardian angel, or HGA for short. It is not a protective spirit in the way that most people conceive of guardian angels, but your own angelic or divine essence. It is the most godlike of yourselves. The higher self is beyond space and time and can see the patterns of this life and all your lives as a whole. This self is truly wise and loving, the part of you that is most in touch with the divine mind. The lower self. The lower self is the intuitive, gut level knowing wisdom we all hold. Some think of it as your body's wisdom, others think of it as your subconscious self. When you feel something in your body, perhaps, about whom to trust and not to trust, or when to get a sudden flash of insight, that is your lower self speaking. The lower self is linked with intuition, psychic abilities, and magic. It is seen as animalistic because it relies on instinct rather than logic. That is why linking this book with the Animal Speaks book and how to develop intuition and the lower self was very crucial in my journey into understanding the whole pieces of the puzzle. I would say Christianity is kind of like training wheels in a way. Nah, I'm not gonna say that actually. They all have their place in the thing. I'd say they were my training wheels because that is where I started with in my journey. I should say that. But I needed all of them to come to this conclusion, to this realization. Again, without ants are just important as eagles. Humans are just as important as every other animal and creature on this planet. We are no more than or less than any other animal. All of them are needed to function. They all play a role. Many people don't think about bees until the news talks about if bees go extinct, then humans die. And then humans are like, wait. And then they all suddenly become so concerned about bees. Again, that's backwards thinking. We are no more important than any other living creature. Not even any other living creature, but all living things, which is grass, every blade of grass, every tree, every body of water, every fire. Those are all living things. Every rock, every crystal. You say, a crystal? How is a crystal living? Have you ever seen a crystal charge and change colors? How could it do that if it was dead? If it didn't have a great spirit within it to make sure it was alive? I don't know. It appears to me that a crystal is alive and working. Nice thing. I feel like this was a super sesh. This was a good little study, or a good little I just want to show this my new prayer stick. It's a silver fox with antler, and these are just turkey feathers painted as eagle feathers, but yeah, that's a vulture feather. But I'm gonna rework it and put some real eagle feathers on it. But it's a real silver fox. But a staff, there's a reason why Moses had a staff. There's a reason why the last Avatar airbender has a staff. In the Native American tradition and culture, the walking stick or the staff represents the connection from the earth to the heavens. It is a antenna for energy to travel from, with the feathers connected, it radiates all elements with, so you got the earth with the wood, air with the feathers, and water and fire because it is touching the earth, which is always touching water and fire. So it is like a channel to the higher realms. that, yeah, it's just like an antenna. But shout out to the Northland Visions. Ooh, my voice. Shout out to the Northland Visions though. It's a beautiful, beautiful store. But and if you're not Native American, I highly suggest you like look into our culture. Our culture is very beautiful. It's very peaceful and harmonious and loving when you get past the stereotypes. I promise. We're not savages. We're very loving. And those who are not loving Native Americans have lost touch with their roots from trauma and pain and suffering. So pray for them. But those who know their roots in the Native American tradition, we we love all people. That is how we're supposed to be. That is what our elders knew. That is why we held a feast, Thanksgiving feast for the Europeans, because we are all loving. We love all things. That is how we were programmed until trauma and pain. But through healing, we can get back to there. All things are possible, especially through Christ who strengthens. Anyways, that is all I have. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message. I hope this message reaches all parts of the planet. Please like, share, subscribe. This is beautiful wisdom and knowledge that thank you, Father, Son, Mother Earth, Great Spirit, ancestors, angels, archangels, spirit team. Thank you for helping me channel this message to the collective. Is the least I could do. I love you guys. Take care. Spread love, spread light, spread truth.